It was great. Yeah, the panel was nice. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's a little overwhelming to step out in front of all those eyes and know that they're all watching you. But the reaction was great. I was really excited. This is my first time doing a panel here, so yeah, I can't complain. I thought it was awesome. It's also very difficult to sort of talk about a show without being able to talk about the show. You know what I mean? So that's always a challenge. What's that? I don't think so. No, there's stuff here for. I've seen some Sentinel stuff outside, so I know there's definitely some press here, but I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with that. So I just finished shooting the X-Men stuff about a month ago, so I cannot wait for people to see it. It's going to be huge. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, honestly, that I really can't tell you about. They'll kick me out. They'll come get me.
So can you talk a little bit about last season?
Yeah.
And what's changed this season?
Yeah. I mean, the stuff that I really loved about last season was, I mean, character-wise anyways, I loved the arc that Mike went through. About halfway through the season where he got kidnapped and had the crap beaten out of him and was being almost killed every episode, I thought opened up an interesting avenue for Weston, because I sort of likened it to what happened to Ryan Hardy during the first case. He starts to get mentally beat down, and I thought we get to sort of see what Ryan went through the first time around in a parallel through Mike. And I hope that we continue to do that. I think there's some serious repercussions from the last episode where Ryan and Mike kidnapped, tortured, and killed a prisoner. That stuff's not just going to go away. So even though we pick up, approximately a year later from what I've been told after the season finale, there's going to be some serious repercussions, and Mike still has to deal with that. I mean, he lost 2 partners within the space of the case. He had to kill people. He was, attempts on his life were made. So he's pretty messed up, and I think it'll be interesting to see how far the rabbit hole Mike falls. Does he go as far as Ryan? Does Ryan help to pull him out of it? I just don't know. But to me, either way, those are interesting things to explore. And I think something we talked about too in the panel that was sort of frustrating for some viewers were the fact the FBI was always a step behind, and that was the conceit of the show. We can't catch the guy that we want to catch because then the show's over. So there's sort of that catch-22 where you want the FBI to progress, but if you do that, then the show's over. So how do you keep that interesting? And from what I've been told, we've learned that isn't necessarily the way, the manhunt aspect and tied in the procedural FBI stuff, we're going to sort of take a step back from. So
What's the strangest thing that happened?
James coming out. That was a bit of a surprise. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but thought that was kind of fun. What was the strangest thing that happened on the panel? I don't know. Nothing was strange. I never know what to expect. Nothing shocked me because I didn't have any expectations. I was like, there's a few thousand people. Here we are. I thought it was interesting to see the clip of the Claire character being murdered right on screen. That was intense because I hadn't seen that. I knew that they shot it, but I haven't seen that. So for me to see that was intense. It's not hard. I mean, I love it. To me, it just, the depth of Weston went from here to here when that sort of avenue opened up. And so, no, it's not difficult. I love that stuff. That's the stuff I really want to get into. That's the kind of writing that I want to get into. And so, it's difficult to be in that emotional state and to go there, but that's what's satisfying. And when the writing is good and when you're working with actors and directors that will pull it out of you and make it easy for you, it's easy. With Mike, backstory-wise, we didn't know a lot. I never really needed to know a lot. We talked about, where his family was from, why he got into the FBI, who he was. I didn't know the detail about him being part of the, protective service stuff until I read that script. That wasn't something we knew about, but I did know sort of about his background, his family, and as an actor, you just sort of create that for yourself. I had ideas when we were shooting the pilot that I came to Kevin Williamson with just to talk about where I thought he was coming from, and some of the details Kevin was like, absolutely great, and some of them he's like, no, let's not go there. So, you create your own sort of backstory and then bounce it off our showrunner and see what works for him, because you don't want to start running with one idea in your head and then 10 episodes later find out that that's not where you're going. So it can be dangerous sometimes to create your own backstory without bouncing it off your showrunner.
Last question.
I don't think I'm method. I mean, I just sort of go with the flow. And I think on a television series, especially because of the frantic pace, you have to live in it. You have to experience it because it's you don't have time to prepare. It's not like you have weeks to digest the material. You sort of have to understand what your role in the show is, as far as like what your need is, like how do you help tell the story, and understand your character, and then just go with the flow. So I like that. I like working on my toes and not knowing what's going to happen until the script is delivered. Okay, let's shoot it. Tomorrow we're going to be doing this, and that's exciting. So.